Hi, I'm Ryan from the Property Hillbillies, and today we're going to learn in 1 minute or two how to patch a hole in drywall. Let's get into it. Here's our hole. As you can see, they've got here patch. It was too close to the oven. So what we're going to need for this, we're going to need a piece of drywall, just a loose piece of drywall, as long as it's larger than the size. And we're going to need these tools. So ideally, you're going to need a knife, or just a very sharp knife will do. A drywall cutting knife would be ideal, but if not, hey, you can always just use sort of a bread knife or something that you don't mind using on the wall. You're going to need a plastering knife and a trowel, although you don't necessarily need the trowel, but it always helps. Right, so here's what we're going to do. First off, we're going to grab our piece of drywall. So you've got the back side and the front side with the paper that you want to be on the front. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our drywall, we're going to put it up here, and we want to cut off a piece that's going to be, let's say, that much bigger than the hole. So I think something around about here is going to be suitable, so I'll cut that. So what we can do if we want here is just hold it up to the side, and we'll just cut it along here like that. It doesn't need to be straight. Brush it on the back and slice it, and that'll just come apart nicely. So now we can see that this piece here is going to fit. It's plenty big enough for the hole. Okay, so we'll hold that up to the side here, but turn it round backwards. Now get your knife and we're going to run this line across. So just inside that line, we're going to run the knife all the way to the end, and then on the bottom here, just inside, we're going to run it all the way to the end. Now we're going to put it up here. We're going to do the same thing for these lines here. So you see, now we've got a bit of a tic-tac-toe pattern on the back. Is we're going to gently peel the paper off of the sides like so. So you're going to grab it and gently break it like this. Gently, and then just peel the back of the drywall off on the edges so that you just leave the paper facing on the sides like that. So now we'll go around the edge of the rest of it. Just very gentle. You don't want to rip the paper if you can avoid it. We've done quite well here. Okay, so now you can see we've got this piece here left in the middle. Now, if we have a look here, you'll see the idea here. So that piece is going to fit, there we go, right in that hole. And now this paper is going to act as our band-aid around the sides. So let's grab some plaster out of the bucket. So a bucket of plaster, you might call it mud if you're from the States or somewhere else. So I like to grab my trowel. Now, so to apply, what we're going to do, we've got the hole here, is get your mud or your plaster and run it around the edge. Think about how wide the paper is around the piece of drywall you've just cut, and just make sure you've got plenty of plaster on there, right around, heaps of it there, and put a bit on the inside because we want to have plaster in there to stick, like so. You can also, if you want to, do it this way. Grab your plaster, your thing you've made up there, and just put some plaster or mud around the edge like that. Now, very simple, as you can kind of imagine, we're just going to push that into the hole, and we'll gently push that out. Take your knife and just run, working the knife from the inside out. That'll help you avoid getting any rolls or bubbles or anything. Just make sure that's sitting in there as well as it can. Just gently smooth it out, inside out, like so. Try to avoid wrinkles. I mean, really, you want to get as much of that plaster out without, there we go. Right. Now, as you can see, we've got one patch. It's nice and smooth. Of course, that's not going to be finished. What you're going to do now is you're going to go over and do more steps. So you're going to wait till tomorrow or a few hours until that dries, and you're going to put another coat on. And when you do your next coat, just make sure the coat comes out, let's say 30 mils past the edge of the last one. And then when you do your next coat, go again. And you can just keep adding coats until you feel like you've got it at a point where it's very smooth for the touch, and you're happy that when you paint that, it's going to end up looking very flat. And that's how you've done it. You've patched the hole. I've patched that in about 30 seconds or a minute. It's very easy to do, and that will be a very solid patch, probably more solid than the original jib itself. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe for future property related videos. Thank you very much. Right, so I just realized I forgot to show you what you need the knife for. Now, I didn't actually need it this time, but the key to this is making sure, you can see I've got another hole here, making sure that you've got a nice square or oblong hole. Now, if that was a circle, I'd use my knife and I'd cut it until it was nice and square. When you've got it nice and square, that's going to make it very easy to cut out your patch to go inside.